How's it going, everyone? JLH Mac here, and today I'm going to talk about my bankroll challenge for next year, where we turn our original $30 into $30,000. If you've not been a part of the journey from $30 so far, please go ahead and check out the links in the description below. One for my blog page that shows the journey so far, and the other is a link to the Twitch page that has recordings of most of the bankroll building. Right, so now everyone's hopefully caught up, and we'll go into the nitty gritty on how to turn that $30 into 30k during 2019. My plan is to continue just playing the newest formats that PokerStars bring out. They just seem to have the softest lineups. So we'll be sticking with Fusion, Power Up, and Spin and Goes, which was what I was playing professionally before this. But mostly sticking with Fusion while it's out, I think. We've been doing pretty well so far, so I just want to carry on playing that. But as far as I'm aware, this will be just in for a small amount of time, and then it'll be replaced by something else. And once that new game comes in, we're definitely going to jump into it and hopefully do as well as we have with this one. The current bankroll management I'm going to use is 50 buy-ins per stake at the power-ups. We've got a fairly decent win rate of those so far, but which means we can play the highest that's out at the moment, $15. Spin and Go is a lot more variance heavy. So far during our challenge, we've played a bunch, but they've been the big loser on us for the meanwhile. That means I'm going to be using 100 buy-in bankroll management here, which means I'll be playing the $7 for now if I am playing at all. Then over on the Fusion, we're going to be playing the $15 mainly, but if you look and see our bankroll, current bankroll above my head, see it a little bit better. It's at 1,253, which means I can take a little shot at the $40 limit as well, which I think that's what we're going to do right now. Most of this challenge will be streamed over on Twitch, but I think once a week I'll do a short episode and put it over here on YouTube. So let me just get all the tables ready and I'll be back in a sec. Alright, so I'm currently on 3 tables. Probably will add a 4th once we get comfortable with this. But we are mixing in some 25 cent, 50 cent, a 10 cent, 25 cent, and another 10 cent, 5 cent. We're going to have a shot on one table here when it finally starts working. But for now, I guess I'll start to talk about how Fusion works in case you've never played it before, or in case it's not even on the client anymore. So Fusion works like this. You start with 2 cards pre-flop, but if you do see a flop, you get given a 3rd card, and then on the turn, you get given a 4th card. So you can see here, everyone's now got 3 cards. And then on the turn, both players will be given card number 4. And then from that point onwards, it plays like Omaha. So you could, I guess, see it as you're playing Omaha, but you've only allowed to look at 2 cards. Then on the flop, you're allowed to look at a next card. And then on the turn, you're allowed to look at your last card. And then it just plays like Omaha. So if you're an Omaha player, you're going to be doing a lot better than a lot of other people. 9-7, I'm going to be nitty and fold. And then over here on table 3, we got ace 6. You can see we just had 2 cards, and now we got added a 3rd card. We haven't hit the board, so we're just going to be checking and folding if we face any decent sized bet. So the difference between this game and Omaha is that equities managed to run even closer pre-flop and on the flop. So the sizings I think that we want to use in this game are mashing the pot button, especially pre-flop and on the flop. There are a lot of other things that come up that I'm sure we'll discuss hopefully in this video that are different to Omaha. So for example, there are some spots where people can just easily have like a random trip twos or whatever because they didn't get it pre-flop, they got it on the flop or the turn. Anyway, I'm going to fold here. Sevens. So yeah, it's quite a fun game. We've been doing really well at the moment. So I hope it will continue during this new challenge that we're setting ourselves. I'm not rebuying at the moment. I have no plans to be having auto rebuy on, because when equities start to run closer and closer, you kind of don't really mind being short stack at all. It means you can just put everyone all in, put everyone to the test for all in, and you might be able to push people out, and then you get free dead money. So really wouldn't mind that happening at all. Another thing, because these equities do run quite close, I will be doing some limping pre-flop, even out of the blinds. So get used to that. We did make some pre-flop ranges over on the site, so if you want to check them out, I'm sure we'll add another link in the description. If not, just head on over to op.poker.com and look in the chart section. You should be able to find it for Fusion. It's just a guideline of how to play pre-flop, because this does play different to Hold'em, of course, and it obviously plays different to Omaha because you've only got 2 cards pre-flop. So 8-7, there are tables I would be playing this on, but only if the player to my direct left wasn't so aggressive. Like they are being aggressive, so we're gonna have to be very tight, because we're just gonna get free bet and whatnot out of pots and isolated out of pots. King Queen here, facing a raise and a min raise. You're gonna see a lot of this weird sizings coming out. We're going to call, and it's very possible, very, very possible that we end up getting all of our chips in. We've got 2 very aggressive players behind the act, and one of them short stacked, so we'll see. I would prefer to see a flop, but if we have to put all our chips in, so be it, I guess. So the stats that we've got currently from Hold'em Manager 2, which managed to work with this game, are pretty simple. They're all pre-flop ones. The first one here is VPIP, so that's 59%. Second one is PFR, and the third one is free bet. VPIP is just how often percentage-wise people are playing pre-flop. PFR is how often they are raising pre-flop, and then the last one is how often they re-raise pre-flop. Anyway, I almost folded King Queen 8, then I realized the amount of extra drawing we have on the turn, and we actually managed to turn the nuts, which is pretty nice. So we're just going to put it in for now. We don't want to give people good odds to draw. I'm quite happy to take it down right there and then. We don't have the flush draw. We don't have a full house draw, so I don't really want to be messing around. Just put it in. Check the hand. Scoop up a nice pot. So you can see the bankroll has gone down considerably, but that's because we got it here on tables. It's gonna be a long road to get to that $30K, but gotta start somewhere. A raise, a free bet, and a call. I'm gonna fold the ace-4. Over on table 3. King 7. I think I'm ready to add in my 4th table, so I'm gonna chuck that in right now. Okay, so we got a raise, 3 big times the big blind, and a call. We're here sitting with King 7. I think we have to call. just because of all of this, what we can hit on the flop with the extra card coming as well. You never know, we might actually get another king or an ace. Then our hand's pretty decent. And we flop top 2, which is nice. I'm going to check it over and then hopefully check raise, because people seem to be c-betting a lot. Unfortunately, it doesn't work that way, and the worst turn card has come, in my opinion, at least. And we're facing a very small bet, which I am going to be struggling to fold, especially as I've got Jack 10 as well for a gut shot. I'm going to call. We've hit the straight, but unfortunately a flush has come in. I guess we just check it over. If we were deeper, I might end up turning my hand into a bluff raise spot. Okay, we've got a bet and a call. Got to decide what to do here. Not happy. Someone can easily have clubs themselves. This is a really good spot to bluff raise, but I don't think these guys are quite able to fold a flush. If it was a normal PLO table, I would be using this blocker, but don't think it's going to work that way. I think we're going to let it go. Oof. Nice. Glad we let it go. Hurts a little bit, but that's because I'm a Hold'em player rather than a PLO player who would snap fold that. Anyway, you will notice in this game that flushes happen a lot less often than in your regular PLO games. The reason for that, okay, we pot mashed and didn't get a single fold. We got trips now. Queen 9 has got there, and 9-7 has got there. So I think we still need to be betting. Especially as we got at least we got a 7 as a blocker, I guess. Eh. Oh well. Do I just call or do I just get it in myself? I think I just get it in myself. Doesn't look good. Okay, well, we win at least side pot. Not so bad. And a6, call a free bet. As you can see, this game is quite aggressive. Anyway, I was going back to, you're going to see people hitting flushes and straights a lot less often in this game because people are unable to control what they have pre-flop. We're in a horrible spot here. I don't think I can fold. I'm just going to flat call. I see no way I can fold because of the extra card coming on the turn. We'll see. I mean, we could hit the nuts on the turn. We hit that. There you go. Very nice. Very easy. Get it in spot here. Ouch. Managed to lose the nuts. And that's our first buy-in down. But as you can see, that kind of spot you really wouldn't expect to happen that often. But it does happen quite a lot in game with the extra drawing potential on the turn. And ace-9 here, I think we're going to get it in. I think we're going to try and squeeze out that dead money. Hopefully it's dead anyway. Really want to be folding. Okay, looks like we're going freeway. He's limped, so he could have anything. Has 8-7. Okay. We got a slight equity advantage and managed to take it down. Send it. Happy days. So I'm glad you're all getting the full gamble mode on. It's a very, very gamble heavy game, so if you can't handle it, can't handle those kind of swings that you're going to get, then probably want to stick with Hold'em or regular PLO, because this one is very, very swingy. All right, we've got King 10 against 7-6. We're dead. Did hit a straight, but no good against the full house. It's very rare that you can get it in with 60% equity pre-flop, so let's have a look what we were up against in that. Up against ace 10 and 8-7. At the end of this video, we can check out the equities there so you can see how different it was. Anyway, ace king suited, we're going to raise it with the intention of getting in on any flop, even one as terrible as that. And hope to God someone hasn't hit straight directly. Right, we've only got 22%, which is unfortunate. But it's still an amount compared to the pot where not terrible. 7 in. So he bought in again. Yeah, that wasn't really a great flop at all. Especially against 7-6. Queen 3 managed to call us. Queen 3-7. Ah, he had a 7. Okay. So I'm going to make my first limp here on the 25-cent, 50-cent game. That's with pocket 10s. Basically, if we can see a cheap flop, we will, and if it just goes crazy, I'm just going to leave it alone. Pretty much a drawing hand. Prefer to just keep it cheap. I hit a set, then I'm all good, or something along those lines. Anyway, 10s I'm going to just fold against that bet, lead out. To table 3, where we've got a pair of queens. Now blockers are still an important factor in this game, as well as in irregular PLO. But don't overplay the blockers too much. There are a lot of players calling far too wide. Alright, so I'm going to go for a value bet here, but at the same time, if I am being raised, I'm just going to fold. I think I can get called by 2 pairs quite often. Got flat called by the nuts. I'm fine with. I would be snap folding to a raise anyway, so. I just wanted to dictate the size of the pot for myself. I know I'm very rarely going to get bluff raised there. So even 2-5 I'm going to overlimp because we get that third card. We could just end up with an ace and then we'd have a suited ace. Or we can just flop a straight P-days. With redraws as well. Anyway, I'm just going to lead out. Don't trust anyone else. I'm quite short stacked anyway, so I get it in really. If we don't mind that turn card. Keep up the pressure. With that. Table 4, I have jacks with top pair. I could check that back, but I think I'd rather, while I got position, just try and take it down. I had a tempting spot here with 4-5 to overcall with position, but we are quite short stacked, so our positional advantage isn't that amazing. And generally speaking, 4-5 of hearts won't do very good. On this flop it would, but generally speaking, This isn't Hold'em. This is basically Omaha. So having a 4-5 isn't great at all. Especially as we could end up getting another heart. Not double suited. So against this size bet, we can call, especially with a top pair. Could have led out, I guess. I don't think I want to build the pot though. Cool. We've now got top 2. Isn't amazing because of the straight and flush out there, specifically the flush. What we're going to be scared of, but the river is good. We're only losing to jacks now. It's time to put our value bet out there. If we can't take it down. We don't get any payday, unfortunately. All right, so we got top. We got middle pair. That didn't amount to much, so I think we're just going to check fold turn. We do hit a straight on the river. She is disguised kind of strong hand, so I think I'm going to bet that one out. And hope he has aces up and calls. That's cool. Let's see what he had. He just called me with a bear king, so I'm going to write that he's a station. Important to know when someone's calling just ridiculous wide. Could be bluffing worse than that. Like calling just a bear ace, okay, but a bear king. How about that? Anyway, ace 10, we have raised the limper. Get called by everyone behind us, and now we just have a pair of 10s. I don't want to be putting my last money in the pot, really. They're going back. It again. Table 2, we've hit aces and 8s. So 2-4 is the nuts right now, but quite unlikely that someone has it. A lot less unlikely than regular Omaha, but still quite unlikely, because you could easily just pick up a 2 or a 4 on the flop or turn. Anyway, you do take it down, and here we're just gonna fold. They take it down. Ace king, let's bump it up. Gonna set out next big blind now. So this is not a terrible flop. We got a bunch of draws. So I'm gonna bet out with the hopeful intention of getting the folds, but if we are raised, we can easily just get out of there because we haven't actually hit anything just yet. So fold it is. Easy bet fold spot. So we managed to book a small profit on the 25-cent, 50-cent table. We managed to win 45 bucks. Then we are sitting out on 2 of the other ones, just this one left. May as well bring up today's sitting out. Right, so going back to the hand that we saw earlier, which looked like crazy gamble times, I want to just point out how this game works. We had that limp, we had the raise, we had the free bet here, and we're sitting with ace-9 of diamonds. Now, if we fold, we always lose 50 cents. By free betting, the intention is to get both players behind to fold. Unfortunately, that doesn't work out like that, and we end up putting all our chips in. And then, not only that, but we also find ourselves dominated against ace-10 pre-flop and 8-7. And if we look at the equity distribution here for the freeway pot, we can see that unfortunately we have the least amount of equity. We only have 30.81%, which isn't great. But then you have to start thinking about it a little bit more, because from that pot there was actually a main pot and a side pot. So the main pot was only $28.70, and there was a main pot of $55.67. We're going to look over right now. So I did some maths on it. The main pot had $1.44 in rake, and the side pot had 56 cents in rake. That is very important when we're looking over these hands, because there are lots of spots which are close, but then when you factor in rake, it's actually a fold. So we have a look and see if this one is as well. Now, the main pot was 28.70 minus the rake, so we're trying to win the main pot of $27.26. So we have to put in $8.62 to win that $27. Means we require 31.6% equity. Now, if you look on the simulation we ran, we didn't hit that, but we weren't far off. So in the long run, we actually only lost 11 cents in that main pot. Now, you got to remember as well that if we folded, we lose 50 cents. So even though we did get it in as the worst of all three of us, it was still the right thing to do to get it in. But we also had the side pot, which was actually a lot bigger. The side pot was $55.67, and the rake was a little less in this one. It's just 56 cents. So we're actually playing for $55. We have to put in $28.13 to win it, so therefore we require 51% equity. Against the 8-7, we are actually ahead, even with the dead cards of the ace of hearts, 10 of hearts. Have to remember to put in the dead cards when you're doing side pots and whatnot. It's very important. If we didn't put in the ace of hearts, 10 of hearts, specifically the ace of hearts, then our equity would go a lot higher. So we end up having 51.75. So in the long run, we win 39 cents in the side pot. So overall, we actually win money, even though it didn't really feel like the best scenario. We won some money rather than folding. Just proves how much gambling you require to do in this fusion game. And if you shy away from these spots, you're actually losing quite a bit in the long run. So even though we didn't get the perfect desired outcome, I mean, oftentimes we'll be up against Lucy Star, who could have a very, very wide array of things because they're so short. We can often be ahead pre-flop. So it's just an important spot to point out, and I thought I'd better add this in a little bit later. So, small session today. Did the 76 hands, made a $3 profit because we ran good on the big table and bad on the lower stakes. We could also look at EVBB, but it doesn't work very well with Holder Manager. So most games I'll have it to give us a little bit better indication of how we're doing. But in this game, it really doesn't serve much purpose at all, because I don't know what Hold'em Manager thinks it is. I think it thinks it's pot limit Hold'em. It is completely wrong. Anyway, made a small profit on this session. Pretty good start to episode 1. Next episode will probably be next week. I think I want to do weekly, and I want to just go through the results of the week while also doing a small session just for you YouTube guys. But we'll see. I think once a week seems perfect to me. And I think this week we'll be mainly playing some Fusion, but whatever I play throughout the week, I will do a bit of in this YouTube video. So if there is a week where I play a bit of power-ups and a bit of Fusion, or a bit of spin and goes and a bit of power-ups, I will do a small session of both. I think that only makes sense. And whatever possibly can be put into tracking device such as this, or PokerTracker 4, for example, or anything like that, I will use so that we can track the results, not just with the cashier. So we got the cashier as well above me. And we want to get that cashier up to $30,000. We'll see how it goes. Also, within the next week, I get to open, hang on, that would look, get to open at least 150 chests. So make sure you come on over to the Twitch stream to see that unopened. Managed to get a casino mystery chest as well. That's nice. All sorts. Need to open them by January the 1st, so better get cracking on that soon. Anyway, hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, click the subscribe button and the notification one. Will help this channel out a lot. So, peace.